What is up, guys? My name's Kyle and welcome to a long overdue video. Today we're going to be looking at two speakers from Monoprice that I've been using in my basement here for the past 6 months. First one is the Alpha Series 8-inch in-ceiling speaker, and the other is the Amber 8-inch in-ceiling speaker. We're also going to be taking a look to see if these cans on the back are worth the extra investment. But before we get into that, be sure to hit that subscribe and bell notification button. I've got a lot of cool home theater and DIY stuff coming to you here in the future. So first, let's take a look at the Alpha Series speaker.
I'm currently using the 8-inch Alpha Series as overhead speakers in my bar. These speakers come with a nice looking 8-inch carbon fiber woofer with a 1-inch silk dome tweeter floating above it. They are rated at 80 watts RMS at 8 ohms, have an optional port that you can utilize based on your configuration, and have heavy-duty binding posts along with all of the crossover components on the back side of the speaker. Both of these speakers have paintable magnetic grills that are low profile and sit very snug to the ceiling.
Next, we'll take a look at the 8-inch Amber Series with the optional can on the back.
Both of these speakers have very similar specs. Each has a high-frequency attenuator that can adjust the speaker's high-end response, but the Amber Series comes with a 1-inch ribbon tweeter instead of a 1-inch dome tweeter. Since these were going to be going in my home theater area as Atmos speakers, I opted to get the optional cans that go on the backside to utilize the port feature, hoping that it would help increase the bass frequency response. It comes with a quick disconnect plug on the top side of the can to help with connecting your speaker wire. For more information on how to attach these cans, be sure to check out my recent video on how to install the in-ceiling speakers.
Now, as far as sound quality goes, the Amber Series with its ribbon tweeter beat the Alpha Series hands down. This has a traditional 1-inch dome tweeter on it, and while it does disperse the sound a little bit better, this ribbon tweeter is a little more directional. You have to be more underneath the speaker to hear it well. Once you were there, this sounded so much better, and for the Dolby Atmos studio that these are working for in my basement, they sound incredible for that. These actually, I prefer these in my bar just because the dispersion of sound is a little bit more with that dome tweeter, so I feel like they're set up in the right areas, but as far as sound quality goes, this ribbon tweeter does beat out the traditional dome tweeter. Next is where things get a little interesting. Let's talk about the low end of these speakers. Each of these comes with an 8-inch carbon fiber woofer and have a port here on the bottom. On the back side, there's a plate that you can either seal off this port or open it up. Now, Monoprice sells this enclosure that you can put on the back side of these speakers to help utilize this port feature. I figured that since it was going in my home theater area, I would go ahead and add that on, and I was thinking it was going to help with the bass response and maybe a little bit of clarity, but I gotta be honest, it did not sound good at all. It was very boomy in some of the frequency ranges. There was a lot of spikes. The male voices sounded way too, unnatural. It just did not sound good. So instead of scrapping the cans, I came up with an idea similar to what SVS does with their subwoofer line.
I had some medium density foam left over from another project and thought this would be perfect for sealing off the ports. I took one of the port covers that I had removed, traced it with an X-Acto knife, and then came back and cut out the design. These plugs fit snug in the ports and help me to easily go from a sealed to ported enclosure while listening for differences in the speakers.
So after cutting these out, all that I had to do was stuff it inside the port area. And that essentially made it a sealed enclosure. Now, after installing that foam in the port, it did tone down the bass quite a bit with these speakers. But that was a good thing because it wasn't too boomy, things sounded more natural, and just overall it sounded a lot better than it did before. The Alpha Series actually ended up having more bass after that. These are more of an infinite baffle enclosure than the sealed enclosure here. So these did have a little bit more bass output, but like I said, this sounded a little bit more natural with the sealed enclosure. So that being said, I really wasn't too concerned about losing some of the bass response from these speakers. These are being used for Atmos speakers, and they're only really utilized from 100 Hertz and higher. so I really wasn't too concerned about losing that bass output. Now, the one thing that these cans are really nice for is blocking any sound output from going upstairs into your other living area. If these are going in your basement, it is a good idea to put these on because it's going to block any sound just traveling out from the back side of your speaker up to the next floor up above. When we're playing music down here, you can actually tell a little bit more when the bar speakers are going versus when they're not going. So if you're going to be installing these in your ceiling in your basement, you might look into getting these cans just so you don't disturb anyone upstairs. So overall, I have been really happy with both of these speakers in their configurations where they're at in my basement. If you're wanting to save a little bit of money yet still get a great sounding speaker, the Alphas are running about $100 on Monoprice, while if you're wanting to upgrade a little bit in sound quality, the Amber series is running about $150. So guys, if you have any questions about these two speakers, be sure to leave them in the comments below. I get to every single one of those and try to answer them the best that I can. Also, I'll be leaving links in the description for Amazon to where you can purchase these speakers if you'd like. A lot of times Amazon will be a little bit cheaper than Monoprice itself, plus they have free shipping, so that's always helpful. If you guys are into home theater and DIY stuff, be sure to subscribe. I've got some really cool products coming to the channel here within the next few weeks, so you'll definitely want to come back and check that out. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you guys soon.